So this one particular day I had to catch a plane. Now, this is something I do from time to time. I do a little bit of traveling, which is kind of fun, but I'm notoriously late for catching my flights. I'm that person they are calling over the PA in the airport. You know that little call you hear from time to time? Mr. Brenton Colleen, please make your way to Qantas Flight Lounge 17. Your plane is boarding and is ready for departure. That's usually me. So I'm sorry, if your plane's running late, it's probably me that's coming along. So this particular day, I happened to be on time. I actually showed up on time. And not only was I first at the departure gate, I was first on the plane, which is a massive... that deserves a round of applause. Thank you. Doesn't really, I just thought I'd milk the crowd a little bit there. So bottom line, I'm first on this plane and I'm sitting on there and I'm watching the people get on and I'm starting to think about who they are and what they've got going for the day. It's an early morning flight, so there's people going to Sydney, all on the same flight, funny that. So they're on the plane, heading to Sydney, there's business blokes getting on, you can see they're kind of getting set up for the day with their meetings. There's young mums with toddlers kind of tackle their kids onto the plane and get them strapped in. And this one particular woman gets on and I could see her from down the aisle and she was looking a little bit pasty. She wasn't looking great and as she was getting closer I could see that she was kind of sucking in the air, you know, trying to, you know, the air was a little bit thick. She was not coping so well with the fact that she had to be up early. She wasn't feeling good. She stopped at my aisle. I'm sitting in the center seat and she was looking across. She checked a ticket. She saw the number and she said, oh, I need to get across there. And I'm thinking, okay, no worries. But remember, I'm happy and I've arrived on time. So I'm sitting there like a bit of a grinning idiot. Like, you guys remember that character? Some of you might. A guy called Milo Kerrigan. Used to be, like, this is ages ago, fast forward, totally showing my age here. But he sort of did this thing. Totally, I'm pretty sure that's what I look like. Anyway, she climbs across and as she climbs across, I have to say, there was a bit of an odour. Clearly, things had been moving. I don't want to, you know, speculate what that might have been, but nonetheless, I could tell she wasn't in a good way. She sits down, and because I'm beaming and happy, and I'm thinking, I get to chat to the person next to me. We're on our way to Sydney, a couple of hours in the plane, be awesome. I was flying from Adelaide at that time, and I turned across to her and I said, "G'day, my name's Brenton," and she just did this. She doesn't want to chat. That's fine. Sitting on the plane, watching people get on. Next lady gets on. Now, a different sort of look about this particular lady. You know, some people just kind of glow. They're just something radiant, something really quite beautiful. And she started to make her way down the aisle. And as she was coming down, I noticed that she was actually a nun. And the reason I knew this was because she was wearing a habit. Like, I promise you, this is a true story, okay? And by that, I mean it actually happened to me. And so she's walking down. She kind of floated down the aisle because that's what nuns do. And she got to the center aisle and she stopped and she checked a ticket and she looked up and she said, and I'm thinking, this is exciting. She sits down next to me and I think, I get to sit next to a nun. She's in the aisle seat. And of course, I'm smiling and happy because I'm first on the plane and she's in there and I look across at her and I go, "G'day, my name's Brenton." And she just does this. She goes, "What, seriously?" I don't know what that's about. I'm thinking to myself, okay, maybe she's on a silent retreat. I don't know. I don't want to interrupt. Whatever she's got going on, that's fine. So we get up into the air. Plane takes off. Free feed comes out. Qantas flight. Love the breakfast that comes out. Trays go down. Food hits the tray. Lady to my left starts to, I don't know if it's just the smell of the food or whatever, but she's not feeling well to begin with, remember? And she looks across at me and she says, I've got to get out. And she sort of grabbed me on the shoulder and I'm thinking, this is great. Trays are down, food, packed plane. And I look across to the lady to my right, the nun, and I say to her, "Excuse me, would you mind just moving out? She needs to get out." And she just looks back at me and she goes, I'm thinking, what is going on? And the lady to my left starts to really panic. Like she's, I really need to get out now. like now. Now, I may have exaggerated that a little, but I promise you that's what I was seeing in my mind. And I start to panic, right? I'm thinking, what is going on here? And I turn to the nun on my right and I start, like I put my hand on her shoulder and I'm like, you need to move, like now, for the love of God, would you mind? Like, and she looks back at me petrified, like I'm psychotic. Like, I don't know what she was thinking. And she looks back at me and she just goes, she was Spanish, didn't speak a word of English. And so here I am on this plane, feeling like the bile of the universe is about to drop into my lap, right? Lady to the left of me, lady to the right of me, so like, but I'm thinking, what is going on? Everything nasty, horrible, ugly, smelly, about to fall on me to my left. You could say I was experiencing some. Everything that is good and wonderful and beautiful and holy to my right. You could say it sort of represented everything that would be. Sometimes we experience life just like this. Now, I know you're dying for me to finish that story, and I promise you I will, just not right now, okay?